Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of We Time Convo. I'm Debbie.
And I'm Liza.
Today we're diving into the frosty world of winter activities. I've just returned from an epic trip to Reno where I had a blast playing in the snow.
Yeah, about snow. I prefer to look at it from the safety of my home. I'm all about the hibernation life, warm drinks, Netflix, and staying as far from the cold as humanly possible.
Well, I'll be sharing all the snowy details from my Reno adventure, while Liza will tell you how she's turned winter into her personal cocoon.
Debbie.
Yes.
We took a nice winter break.
Yes, we did.
It was really, really nice. But yes. I did miss recording. Actually, I was telling Irene, I'm like, it feels like it's been a while.
Correct.
Yeah, but it was nice. Thank you, Irene, for letting us have a break. It was really nice. But one thing I want to point out is these wildfires that are happening right now in SoCal.
It is unbelievable.
It's devastating. It's all this footage that I see on social media, it's just breaks my heart. And then all these animals that are being left behind, and it's devastating. So any listeners that we have in SoCal, or friends or family, I hope you guys are all safe.
Yes.
And
our thoughts are with you.
Yeah. So I just wanted to bring that up just because it's just been something that's been weighing on my mind. But yeah, so we took a nice winter break, and then I guess this episode is very fitting for our break because it's winter. And Debbie, you just got back from a nice winter Reno trip.
I
did.
Right? I went with a group of our mommy friends, and so always fun. I think this is something that we've done in the past, but now I think we've said hey, this is kind of fun getting ourselves together. It's a nice break after the crazy holidays. We obviously spend time with our immediate family, and so it gets kind of hectic. And so this trip was after that, and so it was a nice break. And we all want to do it on an annual basis because the kids have, not only do we have fun, but the kids have fun. And they were able to do some snowboarding and just really enjoying kind of those winter sports that people in the Bay Area don't have the ability to do unless you actually have to travel up to Reno and Tahoe, right?
Yeah.
So
I need to make it next year. If you're going to make it an annual thing, for sure, I will be there next year. I saw all the Instagram videos and all the, pictures. It looked amazing. So,
yes.
So the kids did some snowboarding. Did Vanessa do any snowboarding or skiing?
Yes. She's been snowboarding for the last couple of years. Well, she's been skiing for the last couple of years, and then last year she did some snowboarding, and then she was able to do snowboarding again.
Did she take lessons to do that, or did she just get on and she just figured it out?
So lessons and you'll get a little sticker shock if you've never done winter sports. There's a lot that goes into it, right? You got to rent. You have to have the gear as in being out there, but also making sure that you kind of stay dry. So making sure that you have the snow gear itself to keep you dry. And so there was a little bit of a sticker shock on a lot of this because it gets pretty pricey. Mm-hmm. And so when we took a look at lessons, they're in the upwards of easily $300, $400.
And is it just is it just a day? Is it multiple?
Yes, okay. It could be half a day or a full day. And she's at an age where one of her friends actually has done it before. And I've actually snowboarded in my past life as well. And so I was hey, if you have a pretty good balance, so you guys can kind of pick it up. And if somebody knows the basics, you don't necessarily, I think, have to take a lesson, but I would probably say a lesson is good. But if you have somebody who knows the basics, they can definitely teach you the basics. And, so that's what she ended up doing.
So do you get on the snow?
Not anymore. I don't have, when I was younger, it's actually the snowboard she uses is my snowboard.
Oh, cool. So, I like that.
So I used to really like it and enjoy it. But as I've gotten older, it's just one of those things where I've kind of decided because it takes a lot of effort to put on your gear, to move around. And, to me, I've kind of gone past my snowboard days.
So so you guys went to Reno. Where in Reno did you guys do the snow stuff?
It was one of the mommies picked it. It was Mount Rose, which was, I would say about 30 minutes away from where we were staying at. And so they had because where we were staying at, there wasn't really any snow. So 30 minutes away, and we ended up there was beautiful snow, and they had a really good time. Yeah. So yeah, we had kids age from
Ella was the youngest,
6 to
20. Yeah. Fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you?
So girl, I don't like the cold. I don't like the snow. I hibernate all winter. I try to be indoors as much as possible. Like, I just am not an element, like, unless it's like 70 degrees, I'm just not that person. Mm-hmm. But I did a couple of years ago take the girls to the snow. We went to Redding.
Yeah.
Which was like a few hours away. And I'm like, play, take pictures just so that you have that memory in your mind because it's not going to happen every year. We went tubing.
Oh,
and,
yes.
sledding.
That's so much fun.
Oh
yes.
my gosh. Okay. So I went on the tube with the expectation that it was going to be like a nice, like, slow ride down the...
No.
It was fast.
Yes.
I hit a rock and I flew out.
Yeah.
And then snow is not soft. I guess it just depends.
Depends on when.
Yeah. So I literally, it was like landing on
concrete
the street.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So it was fun. The girls liked it. And the girls are kind of like me. They're like, okay, we saw snow. We know what it is. And we took a couple of pictures and we're good to go now. To the memory. But I love snow. I love how the snow falls and what it looks like, but I need to be inside by a fireplace. No, I don't want to be in it. Well, so I'll tell you something. Growing up, I did not. I saw snow in the mount, from the mount, here, and I could see the snow, but I was never in snow until I was in my early 20s. And the only reason why I actually I got into snow was because of my friends. My family came from an island, so I don't think they really thought of or comfortable in snow. So I never really was in snow until in my early 20s. And I learned snow activities through my friends. And so as I think about Vanessa, I really made a conscious decision for her to experience snow at a young age. Because I don't know, snow is kind of weird. If you've never grew up in snow, it's kind of weird where you're kind of fascinated by it, but you're actually scared doing snow activities. Because it's cold. It's ice. It's ice. It's cold. You're not really sure how to move around. You kind of are clunky. But we got Vanessa in snow, and she's pretty comfortable in snow. And I think that it's a really great memory in us living in California. The ability to be in sun and beautiful weather, but also experiencing an actual winter with just snow. A few hours away. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work. And that's the biggest thing that I hear from people about going into snow is there's just so much work of getting there, making sure you have the right gear. And at the end of the day, if you have children, I encourage you to have them experience it at a young age because it is such an experience. They're going to enjoy it. And even if they don't enjoy it, at least they experienced it. But if they do enjoy it, it's something that they can carry with them for the rest of their life. Because like you said, it's a memory, right? They're always going to have that memory of you taking them to snow. And just seeing a different element, right? Yes. Yeah. And let's be real. Those pictures are so cute. Those snow winter pictures are so cute. Yeah. With their gear and everything. Yes. Yeah. But the gear thing I do, it's like when I took the girls to the snow, I bought everything. It was super expensive. And I'm like, where am I going to store this shit? Because I don't have any room. And they're going to grow. I mean, the little one's going to grow out of it. But what I did is I actually sold it. Yes. I sold a lot of their stuff on Mercari, and that stuff sells really quick. Yeah. But going back to growing up and experiencing snow. So my experience with how my family introduced me to snow was, okay, I'm Filipino. My parents love to gamble. I don't know if you know that, but they love to go to the casino.
Yes.
So their idea of taking us to the snow is like, okay, let's go to Reno so we can gamble. We'll stop at a rest stop and you can play with the snow on the side of the street. So it was like dirty snow. It was like, at a rest stop. So that was my experience with snow. Yes. And I was just like, what the hell is this? Like that was my experience growing up with snow.
Well, obviously you've decided that's not going to be the experience for your girls.
No. But I mean, yeah, snow is amazing. I'm a California girl all the way. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine living through a whole winter, and then people being snowed. Like you hear about people being snowed in and not being able to, I mean, I guess that's a good thing, not being able to go to school or work, but like you can't leave your house and then having to shovel your driveway to get out. And like, can you imagine like the driving conditions, like how scary that would be?
Oh, it is. It's scary. I was actually scared coming back. So,
oh yeah. So there was like a big storm, like a snowstorm in where you guys were at, right? Mm-hmm. Did you guys make it back okay?
Oh yeah, we made it back okay. But when we did the snow activity, it was actually crazy. Like it was snowstorming and the kids were out and they're still enjoying themselves. I would say that the next day probably was best because actually when you were there, you couldn't even see out. When the kids were out in the snow, you could not even see out. So I would say the next day was probably the best day to go snowboarding or skiing because the powder was probably so nice.
So did it make the snow soft when that happened?
So what ends up happening is when the snow falls, right, it does make it soft, but then you don't want to go in it right away because what ends up happening is too soft. And so you want it to pack a little bit. So on the next day usually is great because it's not as soft. It's a little packed, but it's not ice. So that's what ends up happening.
Like a snow cone ice? Like shaved ice?
Yes.
Oh, see, that's the kind of ice that I want to fall into.
Yeah. So, but what ends up happening is if it doesn't snow, then that snowfall eventually turns into ice. And then that's not fun when you're doing snow activities. Because to your point, when you were tubing, what ended up happening is you end up falling and you're falling literally on ice. So then it ends up being not so comfortable. Yeah.
Not fun. And that was my experience. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do this again. Reno. So I don't know if you guys know, I was born in Reno.
Get the heck out of here. What?
Fun fact. So my mom was pregnant with me. She was about 8 months pregnant. Went gambling in Reno. She went into labor while she was at the slot machine.
Oh my God.
And gave birth to me at a hotel, at a motel, the Hart Motel in Reno, Nevada. That motel, and she would take me every year after that. And the lady that worked there remembered me. And it was,
you were born actually in the hotel?
Yeah.
Get the heck out of here.
Yes. And so they had closed that motel years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun fact. And then she told everyone that she was going to name me Rena because I was born in Reno. So I remember when I was little seeing my aunts and they're like, Rena. And I'm like, who the fuck is Rena? My mom's like, oh yeah, I was going to name you Rena, but I just named you Liza instead. So anyways, yeah.
That is a fun fact. I am like, that is such a great story.
Yeah. My mom just like, reminds me all the time. But, I was a preemie. And so my parents lived in San Jose, but I had to stay in the hospital in Reno. So my parents actually had to take turns driving down every week to stay with me until I was healthy enough to go back to San Jose. And they had to take me through a helicopter back to San Jose when I was healthy enough.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I was a big pain in the ass from the time I was born. And I still am. But yeah, just
that is a great story.
Yeah.
That is so great.
I mean, do people still go to Reno?
Well, yeah. Well,
I mean, was there a lot of people there? Like, I haven't been there in forever.
The hotel that we're at it's pretty popular. So it ends up being, it's fun because they actually, again, we enjoy it because there is a casino. There's some dining there. So, and then there's a great, section for the kids. So there's bowling and arcade. And so it's a really fun hotel to if you have kids to bring, but also if you're an adult, it's fun too because there's a casino there.
Is Circus still fun?
We did not go to Circus this year. Yeah. Last year, I think we did. And yeah, the kids have fun.
It's changed though, because they used to have like circus acts and everything.
Not
and
so much,
they did away with that. So, I mean, that's like one of a lot of my memories when I used to go there all the time was going to Circus. But wow, they have a bowling alley now?
Yep, they have a bowling alley. But yeah, I would say winter, you tend to, like, at least here in the Bay Area, right? At least for us, it's, you stay local, but we do try to make it out to the snow at least once. I know a couple of people who really love the snow and they'll end up going every weekend.
Wow.
They'll do that drive easily.
I mean, do they do like, do they ski a lot and stuff, or do they just like being in a cabin? Like around
so one particular family, the dad really enjoyed skiing. And so he wanted to make sure that his kids had a passion for skiing. So he would take his kids up every week and in order for them to ski. And they actually ended up going into like an actual league so they can actually ski competitively.
Wow.
So he made the commitment of doing it. His wife, on the other hand, was like, I don't like snow. Like she didn't like it, but she would go. So obviously it was definitely his interest. And so he made that effort. It takes about 4 hours to get up there from where we're at, 4, maybe 5 hours. So, I mean,
how about ice skating?
Ice skating. See, ice skating.
I don't ice skate.
I used to ice skate. My mom and dad actually put me and my sister into ice skating.
Oh.
So we used to ice skate when we were much younger. So I'm going to date myself. I don't know if you guys remember, or if you remember, Liza, but Eastridge.
Yeah, they had an ice skating rink. Yeah, my brother used to work there. Because he was into hockey and stuff. So yes, I do remember. So is that where you took your lessons?
That's where I took my lessons. So I do recall doing ice skating. So I can get on the ice.
Yeah. Can you do like little twirls and like all that stuff? All that fancy.
No, I don't.
Tanya Harding stuff.
No, but my cousin. She was, her mom really put her in, and she did that for a while. Like, so she knew she's pretty good in ice skating.
I love ice skating. That's like my Winter Olympics, like what I like to watch when isn't Winter Olympics a thing? Like, does it come every few years?
Yeah.
Oh, for 4 years. Okay.
So the other thing too is talking about like some of those winter sports. Outside of the skating, I have a niece that she does hockey, and she goes into a league. And she, I guess, she was put in a couple of things, and hockey was what she ended up really enjoying, I guess. Yeah. And so her ice hockey. Yeah, it's an amazing sport.
It's beautiful. Like, I mean, if you can like glide, but even like, so I went to a Sharks game, with my brother, and when Haley came down a couple of months ago, and like, it's like the way that these players like are so like aggressive and fast on the ice. I'm like, how do they do it? Mm-hmm. And by the way, the Sharks games are so much fun, especially when they start fighting.
Yes.
I was like, wow, this is so much fun. Oh yeah. I can't, I'm like not balanced that way. Like I can't roller skate. I can't roll. I'm just like I'm not a balanced person. Like I'll fall.
Yeah.
But I mean, to learn how to ice skate and like, it's beautiful. Like I love watching it.
Yo, I remember Christy Yamaguchi.
Yeah. And she still looks good, by the way. I think I follow her on Instagram, but she still looks great.
Yeah. Michelle Kwan.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Does Vanessa know how to ice skate?
She knows how to ice skate. I mean, she's not, she can get on the ice.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's like one of the things that, again, a lot of fun stuff, but unfortunately it didn't stick with me. But
at least you know how to. Yeah.
I look forward to the winter activities in a sense that the atmosphere and the environment just changes. Like wherever you go, it's great because you got the Christmas lights, you have like all the decorations out. I have a neighbor, their lawn is done up. Like they have like probably like 12 reindeers and
You know what?
Like done up.
My first thought every time I see these houses are like, oh, they're beautiful. But then I was like, how much is your PG&E bill? But yes, that is also like, going to see houses and lights. Yes. So every year I actually take my girls to Vasona Park.
Yes.
We do the drive-through lights, and it's great because you're inside the car. You can have the heater on, but that's like a thing that we do every year is just do that. But you do have to get tickets for that. I think before you used to be able to just wait and like drive through because it's so busy. But it's fun.
Well, FYI, I don't, kind of deterring from this, but if you ever go to Hawaii, it reminds me of hiking Diamond Head. So before you used to be able to just go and hike. Now you actually have to get a ticket.
Yeah, you mentioned that during your trip. Like you have to make a reservation.
Yeah. So I think because everything gets so popular and so many people, they're now trying to figure out the best way to move that traffic without it being overly
too
congested.
Crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So not surprised that you now have to have a ticket.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's fun. You can actually walk through there now. They have a walk through. But I think you have to buy tickets for that too. But yeah, that's something. And we get our hot chocolate. The car sounds
so much more fun though.
It's nice. You just tune in the radio and it will play the music and the lights will kind of go towards the music. And yeah, I think that's also one of my favorite things is looking at
So one of the other things that we've done for a couple of years is, because we're coming towards the end of the year or the beginning of the year, one of the things that we try to do as well is do a vision board, like a vision board night. And that's something that we've been doing kind of annually for the last couple of years. And that's been fun.
I love those. It's just kind of like you just cut out what you like want to do for the year and all that stuff. Yeah.
And it's very like informal, like, pick a day. We'll have, hot chocolate. You come whatever way you want to come, and we'll just lay things out and I have so many different arts and crafts throughout the years that I just plop it and then just bring like magazines and things like that. And, it's a nice, quiet, relaxing, event.
Yeah,
so
I love that stuff. And just like looking back at it, right? Mm-hmm, love it. Love it. Winter. And I mean, California right now, it's beautiful out right now. See, this is why I love California.
It's actually warm than what we normally would have expected, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm looking outside right now. I'm like, it's so beautiful. But yeah, so I hope everybody who loves the snow and loves winter is having a great time out there. And people that don't like me is indoors staying warm.